June 5th, 2015 was the day he was actually removed. I ended up getting arrested that day. The first day I came home, I walked in, I grabbed his blanket, I was hysterically crying, and I didn't enter my room for a good 2 weeks. All his things were in there, so.
Foster care, as we traditionally have known it, keeps parents and resource parents apart. It's a philosophy or a mentality that's pretty deeply ingrained in most states, and we need to intentionally dismantle that.
Because there's often a presumption that the person who was raising the child, the parent, was cruel and mean and out of control, anything that the child does that might be normal developmental behavior or is a behavior that is related to being separated from their parent is often seen and interpreted as a reaction to cruelty. And so often resource parents may or may not even directly make a comment about this home is different, this home is safer, you'll be safe here, nobody's going to hit you here. When a child hears that there's something unsafe about their parent, something wrong about their parent, it undermines their sense of security with that parent.
Children suffer from not being able to see and interact with their parents on a regular basis. Parents suffer when they aren't able to know where their children are in many situations, or how they're doing, or who it is that's taking care of their most precious gifts in the entire world. We have an opportunity to change that.
We started fostering 2014, and it was a result of a family situation that we became aware of. We took the girls in, we had them for 4.5 months, and in the process we were becoming a licensed resource home. When the girls left us, we started to think about the fact that we have a license and maybe we would be able to help other children in crisis.
Being a Christian home, we thought, well, the Bible says we're supposed to take care of widows and orphans, so the decision was sort of made for us, but it's been a great decision. We've really been enriched by the whole experience.
I think for us there's always that little bit of excitement, but also nervousness, because you don't know what to expect. You don't know necessarily the quirks or the things you're going to have to learn with a newborn. And but it was very exciting when he arrived, just his sweet face that lights up a room, and it was very easy to fall in love with him, and it did feel like he was part of the family very quickly.
He was 3.5 months old, and I remember this clearly because we were approaching 4th of July, and we had gotten him a red, white, and blue outfit to wear for 4th of July. And I started to just think about how I would feel if my child had been removed. It wasn't a thought that had come to me until that moment in time. And at that moment in time, I started to put myself in Supaji's place. And I thought, oh my goodness, what must this mother be going through, not knowing where her child is or how he's being treated. And I couldn't get rid of that feeling. And so Darius and I spoke, and we believed that the best road to take would be to write a note reassuring Supaji that her son was being well taken care of, and we included a nice picture of him in his 4th of July outfit, and we sent it along with his next visit.
Well, we also, in the note, said, we're taking care of your baby.
Right.
Because we really didn't want her to feel like she was losing him.
Of course, like anybody else, I've seen and heard of what it's like to be in the system and, abuse that kids receive and everything. So when she actually sent the picture and the letter, it gave me a huge sense of relief. It gave me a sense of peace, of knowing he was okay.
They said, there was no history, drug history or anything with the mom. There might have been some some gang affiliation with the dad, but we took it really slowly. We said yes, if she wants to meet with us, maybe we can meet at the office.
So we were walking into CP&P from the parking lot. It was an August day, and I could hear her son crying. And I could see her outside with him, swinging him in the car seat, trying to calm him down. And it was almost as if there was a mutual affection between us. Almost instantly, we hugged. We had this little boy in common, and she was having a really hard time calming him down. And I wanted to jump in there and say, let me have him, I'll calm him down. But I did not do that because I did not want her to feel anything but mom in this situation, so I didn't say anything. And then she turned to me and she said, can you take him and see if you can calm him down? When she did that, our hearts melted because we felt here is someone who is willing to humble herself and not say, well, I'm the mom, I'll do this. She was more interested in her son. So from that point on, we knew that there was a connection and that we would be able to work together.
And that we were a team. You know, she wasn't pushing us away. She wasn't feeling threatened. And that was wonderful for us.
We need to act on what we know about what serves children best very early on in their process so that we can have those kinds of situations out there that don't force children into divided loyalties and to have to deal with critical decisions that could affect them over a long period of time.
There are some incredible models around the country of really thoughtfully designed foster care programs where even prior to removal and placement, there are ways set up for resource parents to meet and speak with parents to let them know that, you know, we're in this to support you, to help your child. We're not looking at this as a fast track to adoption. We see our role is to partner with you and to help you get your child back.
I think that the best group, demographic group, to be targeting are what I would call young grandparent age people who have raised their own children, who don't have a need to bring children into their home on a permanent basis, but are very interested in helping children and families in a community. If we start to kind of target that demographic and begin to promote the idea that this is about helping families succeed who are going through very difficult times, it kind of changes the image of who the people are that you are helping.
Everything is temporary because we're not in it to adopt. So I think that's the most important part, realizing that every placement is temporary. So as much as you love the child, you have to be kind of preparing your heart to know eventually it's going to change, where that child goes back to their parent.
Being part of the foster care system, support system is and should be a very selfless act. It should be with the child in mind and what's best for the child. And in a lot of cases, reunification is what's best, and in some unfortunate cases, it's not what's best. But if every resource family has the best interest of the child at heart, I think that process will be much smoother for them, because loving someone, true love, is wanting what's best for that person, for that child.
If a relationship actually does develop, which can happen and does happen in positive situations, then ultimately the resource parent can become a direct resource to the parent.
Here I felt at home and accepted. They didn't judge me. They actually let me do his first birthday party. I'm Puerto Rican, so for us, the first birthday party is like a huge celebration for a kid. So they actually allowed me to do that. And on my birthday, that was the one thing I wanted. I just wanted to be with him all day, and they actually allowed that. They allowed me. It's the first time I ever came in here. And they brought me a necklace that I still have, the jewelry box I have as well.
We had them over for Father's Day after he was returned to mom. And she texted me back, and I've changed phones and texted it to my new phone so I could keep it. And she said, I truly appreciate you being the dad in his and my life. So she's allowed my wife and I to speak into her life, to give her some direction and encouragement. So she's gone from not having a high school diploma to having one, to not having any work prospects, to going through dental school. So she's now full-time employed, and she was thrilled the other day. She came over, she said, I bought a car. It's mine. I paid for it. It was wonderful to watch him grow and her.
My dad went to prison when I was 16. So that's where I felt where the issue came in and what I accepted in a man, because I seen, things with him and my mother that replayed with the situation with me and my son's father. But with Darius, I love all of them, but Darius especially, because he came in, and not only just for me, for all three of my boys, because they don't have their dad. So Joshua and Darius, they play a big role in that male figure that they lack, outside of here.
People think, oh, that's rough. It's a lot of work. It's this, it's that. And yet we have found as a family, and especially with your son, that we walk away feeling very blessed that having these children, having your son be in our home and be in our lives and be part of the family for the time that he was, has enriched us, has added to the fabric of our lives in ways that nothing else could. And we have loved and still so much a part of your son's life and continue to be as long as you let
Forever.
us.
I told you were stuck with us.